Rick Warren was born on January 28, 1954, in San Jose, California. He is a famous pastor, author, and founder of Saddleback Church. His youth was shaped by a mix of faith, curiosity, and a caring environment that set the stage for his future as a global spiritual leader. Warren grew up in a very religious Christian home, which helped him understand faith and how important it is to help others at a young age. Young people looked up to Rick's father, Jimmy W., who was a Baptist preacher. Jimmy's unwavering commitment to ministry and helping others had a big impact on his son, Rick. Rick would often go with his father to church-related events and see firsthand how faith can change people's lives and communities. This early exposure to pastoral work gave Rick a strong sense of purpose, which his mother still shares. Warren, a teacher, made Rick love reading and learning. She told him to use books to learn about the world, which grew his love of reading. Intellectual interest and helped him learn more about many topics. Reading books when he was young not only helped him learn more, but it also helped him develop the speaking skills that would become one of his most important qualities as a preacher and author. Rick Warren had a strong interest in spiritual issues. He was very curious and often asked deep questions about God's purpose and the meaning of life. His family's strong faith tradition made it easy for him to think about these things. Rick's parents supported him to pray, study, and think about the things he was wondering about. This willingness to be open to spiritual questions became a hallmark of his later ministry, where he would encourage others to find their own understanding of faith, even though he had been exposed to faith as a child. Rick's childhood wasn't easy. Like many kids, he had times when he doubted himself and wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life. But these problems only made him stronger and more reliant on his faith, which gave him comfort. They learned from the Bible's lessons and got ideas from stories of perseverance and redemption. Through his teens, Rick was very involved in church activities. He took on leadership roles in youth groups and was known for being able to connect with his peers. His natural charisma and desire to help others made him a well-known person in his community. At this time, Rick felt a growing call to dedicate his life to ministry. This call became clearer when he attended a Rick decided to live a life of service to God at church camp when he was 19. Education was a big part of his future. After graduating from Ukiah High School, he went to California Baptist University and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree. He then went to Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary and earned a Master of Divinity. These academic experiences helped him understand the Bible better and gave him the tools he needed to follow his calling. Rick Warren's His childhood and early experiences had a big impact on his character values and his vision for ministry. His parents' strong faith, along with his natural curiosity and desire to help others, set the stage for his future as a spiritual leader. These formative years not only prepared him for the challenges of leading one of the biggest churches in the U.S., but they also made him deeply committed to giving millions of people around the world hope and purpose. Pastor and author of The Purpose-Driven Life had a big health problem when he had to go to the hospital for duties, an inflammation of the duum, which is the first part of the small intestine. This condition, also known as duodenal inflammation, can cause a lot of pain and problems if it is not treated quickly. Rick's battle with this illness showed how strong he was, how much faith he had, and how much his family and community supported him. The struggle began when Rick started having persistent. He had stomach pain, nausea, and a feeling of being full even after small meals. At first, he thought the symptoms were just minor digestive problems and kept up with his busy schedule of preaching, writing, and mentoring. But as the symptoms got worse, his family and doctors told him he needed to get professional help. Tests showed that he had duodenitis, a disease that is often caused by stress, a bad diet, or an infection like Helicobacter pylori. He had to go to the hospital when the inflammation started getting in the way of his daily life. With his daily life, Rick's situation needed medical help right away, even though it was painful and stressful for him. He had to make changes to his diet, take medicine to lower his stomach acid, and get treatment for any underlying causes. Rick went into this chapter with the same faith-based method that had guided his ministry for decades. He saw it as a chance to grow closer to God and reevaluate his priorities. While he was in the hospital bed, Rick had a lot of time to think about himself. Shared news with his congregation and followers, often being honest about how weak he was and how much he relied on prayer. His honesty struck a chord with many because it showed how common human weakness is and how strong faith can be in hard times. Rick's family was always there for him. His wife, Kay Warren, was by his side, giving him emotional support and practical help, and his children and close friends formed a network of love and prayer. Rick talked a lot about how their presence made him think about how important relationships are and how healing community can be. His church, Saddleback Church, also did a great job of setting up prayer chains and sending words of support. Rick's time in the hospital also gave him a better understanding of the struggles people with chronic illnesses face. He had always pushed for purpose and resilience, but now he had seen directly how health problems can affect people's bodies and minds. This changed the way he thought about health problems. He became even more understanding of people going through similar things through his sermons and writings. After weeks of treatment and rest, Rick started to get better. The process wasn't easy, but he stayed strong in his belief that God was using it to teach him important lessons. He often thought about how important it was to balance self-care with relying on God's strength. Once he was released, Rick told his congregation about his journey, emphasizing the lessons he had learned and thanking them for their prayers. The help he had gotten this part of Rick Warren's life showed how fragile health is and how faith in society can help people get through hard times. His battle with duodenitis was more than just a health scare. It was a reminder of how important it is to lean on faith, family, and friends in hard times. It was also a reminder that even people who inspire millions of people can go through hard times, but with faith and determination, they can come out stronger and more caring. I really value you watching and leaving a like and comment below. If you liked the video, please do so. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.